Hello, Bill Hayes again. Well guys, today we're going to find out. Yes, we're going to find out which is more accurate, TTF or OTT. OTT simply means the bands are attached to the slingshot so that the shot will go above and maybe slightly through the fork, above and slightly like this. So if this is your fork here, the bands are attached like this. TTF means that they're attached either to the sides or in some way that it makes it to where the shot goes through the forks and the bands travel through the forks and back as well. Whereas OTT, when you fire it, the bands will go over and then quite often will slap you in the hand or they'll come back and hit the forks either way like this, okay? Now, here's the rig we got set up. Let me get this off of here. There we go. I have a metal vise, vice grips. They're for metal holding, and these are on here really tight. Now I'm going to draw back to this screw where I drove a screw right into the hole there. I'm going to draw back with my thumbnail, and it's going to touch that. When the thumbnail touches, then that's the release. That's the release point. And it's going to be the same for every shot. Over here on this side, I have an adjustable vise that I put on the front end loader of this tractor, and it's going to allow me to have this slingshot here. This is one of the old tack hammers, and I have it set up with some plates. Now the plates right now are set up with TTF, as you can see how that works. It pulls through the forks like that. And of course over the top means it's going to come over the top of it instead. Now this makes it real easy for me. All I'll do is just switch the plates from one side to the other, use the same band set, then we'll compare. So that's what it looks like there. It goes from there. That's where I'm going to release. This is the slingshot, and then whoa, over there, 33 feet away from the tip of the slingshot, is the targets. Now the targets, the one on the left is going to be the TTF one. The one on the right is going to be the OTT one. I'm not going to lie to you and say I haven't taken a couple of shots just to make sure where the shots go. I know where the shots are going to go. That's why I put the paper there in those pots. The one on the left, TTF, that should be close to the center where it's going to hit, and the same for the one on the right. Now we just have to measure groups because I don't know which one's going to have a bigger group. I just shot a couple of shots just to make sure that we're going to be on paper when we shoot. And that's about it. We're going to be on paper. I don't know how well we're going to be on paper, but we're going to be there. Okay. My plan here is, by the way, the ammo I'm going to use, this is all 3/8 inch ammo, and every ball, I have a pocket full here, so it's like probably about 50 shots in there, but every ball of this has been measured on my micrometer scale. Every one of these is shown to be exactly the same. We'll see about that, won't we? Alright, so I'm going to draw from here, shoot, and we'll just measure the groups at the end. This tractor, front end loader, isn't going to vibrate, isn't going to move. That's not going to move. That's not going to move. The only variable we have is possibly a little bit of wind gust. That's the reason why I put it in the front of the house today instead of the back, because we got winds coming from the south a little bit. Sometimes it's in gusts, and it's possible to get a little bit of band flutter even in the front yard here, but it should be cut down to a very, very minimum. And if you get band flutter, now that causes the shots to drop or rise too much. And anyway, that will invalidate that particular shot, not the whole test. All right, so let's try it here first. TTF first. I'm gonna line it up here. Now I'm gonna use my fingers instead of a triggered release, because I think that my fingers are actually more sensitive and able to tell whether the ball is centered or not more than a triggered release, which doesn't even have a nervous system. Okay, so from here I'm gonna pull this back. Goes here. Fingernail touches right there, and release. Now that one went down and to the right. I'll tell you what, let me zoom this in. That one went down and to the right of the paper that I thought it would be a little bit closer to the center of, but it didn't go there, did it? All right, try it again. You know what? I'm not even thinking about it. But the first shot or two should not actually count because bands aren't pre-stretched. Okay, my goodness. So I'll tell you what we'll say. We'll do another shot on here, this one, like that, and then we'll say that they count after that. Okay. Let me show you where that one went. Also, and when I marked that, I thought that was going to be a lot closer to center. It's not at all. Okay, so we'll say that these count now from now on, and we'll do 10 shots. Lucky I have 50 shots in my pocket, huh? That's one. Two. 3. 4. Should we do a 5-shot group or maybe a 10-shot group? I don't know. For the length of the video, we should probably just do it as a 5-shot group. I can't imagine that 10-shot would give it a whole lot more throw. You know what I mean? I think that 5 shots would be probably good enough. 4. All right, that's 5. Now let's see about this. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom this in. All right. See that ragged hole right there? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, there's that ragged hole. And I'll measure it. Now, these are not whole sheets of paper. These are half sheets of paper, a little bit less than half, actually. And this hole is 3/4 of an inch high from edge to edge. Edge to edge, 3/4 of an inch high. And the width from edge to edge is 1 1/4 inches. All right. Now, let me take the camera, unzoom it. And let me switch this from TTF to OTT. Let you see what we're doing the whole time here. That way we don't have any calling foul if I speed through the video or whatever like that. You have the option of speeding through it, but I don't. You can speed through it to the brutal end, or you can just watch the whole thing. It doesn't matter to me. You do what you want to do. Alright, so from here, now what I'm doing here is I'm going to set this up so that it has the trough system on it, which I found is the most accurate OTT method. You know, with the V-shaped trough going down there. As I'm talking here, of course, the wind's picked up a little bit, so it's not going to be a super. What I'll do is hopefully this will die down real quick. But if not, then it's not going to be super fair for OTT either, then, because TTF one did not have any wind really. Oh, there it goes. The wind's dying, so it should be fine. Okay, whenever you tighten down things with clamps. I like to use a T thing here, but anytime you do it with a like that, you always, for safety's sake, grab the end of it like this, give it a good yank right against a clamp, and if it wiggles, moves, or anything at all, slips, tighten it down, reset it, do something. Don't just rely on that to hold it, okay? Because it's not going to do a very good job. It could accidentally slip and hit you in the face. And like I say, just pull on it like this. If you pull on it right here to max, that's about all it actually needs, because that's the same amount of pull as if you're pulling it from the end anyway. All right, now I will shoot at the OTT side. The reason why it's going to have a different point of impact and point of aim is because obviously this is a ½ inch higher than this is on the fork, and as it pulls to that stop point, it's going to throw it that much further over there. So a ½ inch here with that over there equals to, I don't know, good 8 inches or so on that. So over there should equal about 8 inches or so. All right, let's check it out. Okay. Now, first 2 shots we said don't have to count. And 1, that was pretty close to center. You probably want to see that one. See the one on the right. Let me zoom that in. There you go. Yeah, you can see the hole. It's close to center. It's a little bit left of center. All right. And we'll do another one just to make sure the bands are all fair from one grouping to the next. Okay, now they're going to count. Let me show you what we have so far. The OTT side. The OTT side, they're about that far apart. What's that? That's close to 1 inch apart. All right, now they should count. Okay. Here. We'll do another one. So we'll do 4 more of them, right? That's 1. 2. 3. Goodness gracious. Now on these, I'm trying to seat this as close to center as physically possible. I'm trying to make this as fair as possible here, because I don't care which is better, actually. I'll shoot with the one that is the most accurate. 4, and this will be the 5th shot. Because we make slingshots for Piker Predator that are TTF and OTT, and tubes and anything else. I'll shoot with the thing that's most accurate, if you want to know the truth. Because I want the most inherent accuracy first, and then I can deal with making the ergonomics of the frame or whatever to match it and help it out some. Good. Okay, that was 5 shots that count. Let me zoom this in. And you can see it's a pretty big group, actually. compared to the TTF group is pretty big. It was done exactly the same way. Now on here, form a nice ragged hole here. Looks like about 3 of them went in this same hole right here. Went here, here, and here. Okay, so the first shot was in here, so it disappeared. And the second one also, so it's going to be part of the group. This one right here was not part of it, so the width, the height of it, from edge to edge is about 1 1/8 inches, and from the width of it is 1 7/8. 1 7/8 wide by about 1 1/8 this way. This one, as you can see, is almost half the size of that one. Okay. Now, I don't know how you can get a more fair test than that. But however many times I've done this thing in the past, it's always worked out the same thing. TTF has always been, no matter how I want to test it, TTF has almost always been, I say almost always been, because there was one time that it was not. That was when I did extreme tests. I took them, I made them that wide and stuff like that, and well, it was just off the wall on that one. That one should never ever count because it was so cattywampus. But anyway, TTF is almost always better in accuracy than OTT. And there you have it. You've seen the test. You see how it was done. You decide. Was that fair? I think it was fair. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day.